Hello everybody, welcome to Limeworks TV, welcome to Porsche Centre Bournemouth, or more accurately the car park outside Porsche Centre Bournemouth. So we're going to do another one take wonder today. They seem to go down okay and it's a chance to do something different really. It all goes with a usual caveat, and that's many things can go wrong. It's an unpolished video, so thank you in advance for bearing with. But as I always say on this channel, the whole point of Limeworks TV is like just passion for Porsche sports cars, and we can kind of forego any Top Gear-esque levels of filming and production. So the car today is behind me, it's there. It's the 718 GTS Boxster 4 litre that the guys at the centre very kindly passed me the keys to on this lovely Thursday lunchtime. So we're going to go for a quick drive in it really. And the kind of thesis of this is off the backdrop of recently, obviously, that it's been announced that the 718 4 litre GTS production is going to finish, or 718 combustion engine production is going to finish. And my whole point is, why has everyone been waiting until the end of production before scrambling for one? So any case, let's spin the camera around and we can take a look at the car in a bit more detail, because it's far more better looking than I am, that's for sure. So this is from Porsche Centre Bournemouth's approved used scheme. So it's done 8,000 miles. I think it looks stunning, and again it all feeds into this point of, yes, Porsche has announced that in the future, like, you know, ICE production of the 718 platform isn't going to stop forever, so it will be around in the future in some form or another. The only thing it said so far to investors has been quite vague, that it will continue. The general consensus seems to be it'll be for GT cars only, but we'll find out. But again, the last year or so I've heard lots of, and I'm sure you've heard similar, where people are scrambling to get these cars new because it's one of the last mid-engined Cayman Boxster cars with an internal combustion engine. And my whole point is, well look, why are you waiting until they're about to finish production before grabbing one? And indeed, if you go on the Porsche GB website currently, next to 718 Cayman and Boxster GTS, it says limited availability. I think there's allegedly only a few weeks left of production. But in dipping into the used market, there's plenty available, and I think you should go for it because they are great cars. So this one finished in agate grey. It's got that lovely red roof adorning it as well. Brake calipers painted in black, which I quite like. There seems to be a lot more of that going on these days. And yeah, I quite like it. Quite sleek and subtle. If we take a look inside, you'll see it's got the GTS package for the interior. I love this contrast. Crayon stitching as the Alcantara seat centres, alongside the swathes of leather that this is lavishly appointed with. Carbon as well across the dash and even on the PDK selector, which is lovely. This being 7-speed PDK rather than the 8 that you have in 911s. But we'll dive into that in a bit of detail. I think we should go for a drive, shall we? So, in that regard, let's walk round, turn the other camera on. There we go. Bit of Limeworks TV behind the scenes with a broken glass. That was in the first week of having the camera. That was handy, wasn't it? So yeah, we'll ditch this gimbal camera, dive in to the 718 GTS 4 litre, which is a cracking engine. It is a cracking engine. There's that, so I can turn this off now and turn this one on. Go, which always helps, doesn't it? And tap this away. I shall put it in my pocket because any money otherwise would bet that I would leave this in the car thereafter. So yeah, look, the 718 GTS 4 litre story. This model has enjoyed rich longevity when you think about it, really. Very early 2020 the model was released. First hit the market in March 2020, right during the COVID lockdown, which probably explains a little bit of its longevity, I guess. But yeah, look, you know, over 5 years, 5.5 years now of production is pretty incredible. And the GTS 4 litre has always been a hit right off the bat. There was a 718 GTS beforehand, but it was the 2.5 litre capacity, and the 4 litre is it's a fantastic thing. We'll start it up. The only time I've covered this car on the channel previously was a live YouTube live when I had the Python Green press car. Took it around Wales for the weekend with members of the Driven Not Hidden collective. Stonking engine, so the chance to get some seat time in one of these again, I'm really grateful to the guys at Porsche Bournemouth for allowing us some seat time. I'm going to need to leave this somewhere because it's the sound for this video. There we go. So what was I going to say? Yeah, 4 litre, 400 horsepower. You know, 100 horsepower a litre is pretty damn impressive, I have to say. The other thing that's worth remembering is the engine in this car. It's the only naturally aspirated flat 6 engine in a Porsche sports car, contemporary Porsche sports car, outside of the GT lineup. As we know, all of the 911 Carrera derivatives, they went turbocharged back in 2016, well 17 really, with an 1.2. The modern 911 GTS now has T-hybrid thrown into the mix as well. So just in terms of atmospheric flat 6 traditional Porsche really, this is the only car outside of a GT lineup that has that privilege really. And as I said, it's a stonking engine, so we will go for a drive now. I'm going to leave the roof up because I'm struggling a little bit for sound quality on this video anyway. My microphone has died just before filming, so I think we'll give ourselves half a chance and just leave it up. And yeah, go for a little drive and just explain my thesis really, because as I said earlier on in this video, there's been a slight scramble to nab one of these cars before they finish production, and my whole thing has been, why are you waiting until the end of production to go and get one of these? They are awesome. And really, if your sole reason for buying one of these is because of the fact that it could be a rare car or highly desirable in the future because it's one of the last, is that not the wrong reason to buy a Porsche sports car? I'm hoping by the time we get out on the road, that will be reason enough for you to buy one of these. And I think kind of again, and similar to my 911 40 Yara experience, that bang by the way was my phone just rolling down there in the seat, in the door pocket. Yeah, as I said in my like 40th anniversary ownership experience really, you know, if you can't drive these and you're buying a Porsche sports car for any purpose other than to drive it, it won't be as fulfilling an ownership proposition as you would want it to be. And therefore, as I've said previously, you know, what's the point? Life is short, so you should buy these for the right reasons to drive, and this will be a rewarding experience. There's much to love about the 718 platform, even over its 911 equivalent really, and I know you can't really compare, but also you sort of can, right? What do I love about the 718 platform? I love the gentle infusion of technology. Rather than having a dashboard that's completely digitised, as it is in the 911, across the 992.1 and .2 generations, this has an analogue tacho ahead of me, an analogue speedometer, and the third clock is digitised, and you can use this. Oh no, hang on. Oh no, that's cruise control. How do you flick through that then? Oh, there we go, it's on this button because it's a multifunction steering wheel. How about that? That's what happens when you do a one take wonder. But using the multifunction steering wheel, I can flick through a couple of other screens that give me things like tyre pressure monitoring, sport chrono pack, which is optional, G-force reading, torque curve display. But it's within that like analog housing, which is nice. Likewise, the PCM ahead of me here is modern and up to date, but it's a small screen. It's not the 10.8 inch screen of the 911 that's overawing the dashboard. And let's pop it in sport, which is down here with the mode wheel. Let's have a listen. Respectful of the speed limit, I'll wind back. Lovely sound. Very different to, because as you remember when the 718 first came out, they too were turbocharged, 2 litre or 2.5 litre. Big criticism was sound, which this car quite emphatically addresses. Yeah, sport exhaust is on. Lovely. Cool. it's got a lot of torque low down in this. It's a great engine. I'll come back to tech in a minute. The big thing I've said previously on this car with a 4 litre in here is I feel like, you know, it's a car strapped to an engine, whereas in a 911 sometimes it can feel like the other way round. This thing has got so much punch low down, and he's very rev happy. It'll rev through to 7,500 RPM, so plenty of character built in there, as you'd expect, because Porsche has a rich tradition of building scintillating 4 litre naturally aspirated engines that started with the 997 RS 4 litre of approaching 15 years ago. So yeah, look, back with the tech. It's a small, simple PCM screen, which again I like. My eyes aren't being, my vision isn't being diverted away from the road ahead of me because of all this tech around me. It feels like proper sports car, which is part of, again, building into a wider message of why I think the 718 is such a great proposition. It's proper sports car, away from the tech and this having a gentle infusion of it, which is a positive. I'm talking dimensions as well. It feels small, it feels nimble, which is what a sports car should be. A big criticism of modern 911s is they kind of erring towards GT. Dimensions playing into that. The new 911 Turbo, by the way, as it was with the previous generation, over 2 metres wide. Massive, whereas these are not the case at all. Small, narrow body, dainty things, which is what a sports car should be. Oh, yes. Giving it a bit more of a tickle now it's warmed up. Doesn't that sound fantastic? Let's pop this window down. Hopefully the GoPros will pick it up. Lovely. And again, another big reason why sports cars, or a big facet and appeal behind sports cars, is the noise they make. This ticks all those boxes, I have to say. Slight loss of traction round there, owing mainly to the terrible road condition. So I mentioned size. The other thing is weight as well. 1,400 kilos, which kind of sounds like a lot for a mid-engined open-top sports car, but again, in comparison to class contemporaries, absolutely not the case. And the other thing is, considering this is GTS, is it rides nicely. It's relatively comfortable as well. I'm loving the sound. I'm loving the sound. Already thinking, oh, I'd just love to drive across Europe in one of these. It's funny, isn't it? And it's half the reason I wanted to do this as a one take. You know, you can't fake this reaction. And this sort of car just makes me happy. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. PDK is 7-speed. You can get a manual with these cars that's 6-speed, I believe, unlike the 7 on the 911 equivalents. Rock it down into a 30. There we go. And let's knock it back into normal mode. PDK into normal. Terrible road, don't judge the ride quality. Nice. The point of this video, as I said, is don't wait until they're going out of production to buy one. Of course, we're pretty much there now, but don't be having an eye on, oh, what's the car going to do in future, and is Porsche, if they're going to fire up production of internal combustion engine Boxster Cayman again, then, you know, does that matter? None of that matters, really. The point is, this is a thrilling sports car that's been around on planet Earth for 5 years now. Just go and buy one if you like the idea of it. Don't worry about the speculative side of it. It's not the approach to Porsche ownership that you should be going after. They're just amazing drivers' cars, and that really is all you should be basing your purchasing decision on. The other thing is, you don't have to buy new like this. You can get it as an approved used car from Porsche Bournemouth. That comes therefore with a great warranty, which is why it's on the Nineworks marketplace. And to be honest, there's enough of them out there, again reference its longevity of production, that you can be picky in terms of spec, condition, history, car for you. At this stage, I've not a clue on planet Earth where I am, so the rest of the video at this point will just be me trying to work out how to get back to the centre, so I will wrap it up. Again, I'll just say that these one-take wonders that I'm attempting, they're not polished, which is kind of half the reason I'm doing it, really. You know, it's just a warts and all peek behind the scenes into Porsche sports cars, the wonderful world of Porsche sports cars, and everything that goes with it. The 718 GTS 4 litre is a fantastic Porsche sports car. I hope this first look, if you've not considered one before, it's been on your radar, I hope this just maybe makes you think twice. If you own one already, congratulations. If you like this one, call the team at Porsche Centre Bournemouth and take a look at the other cars available on the Nine Works Marketplace, of course. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. We'll drop another feature-length video soon. Until then, thanks for watching Nine Works TV.